Hi everyone, it's Brett here from Metropole. Well, we're at the bottom of another decade and potentially the bottom of another property cycle. So before we get set, it's really important as property investors you understand the way our demographics and the way people are going to want to live moving forward. 2020 is going to be a year of great reflection and re-evaluation, and priorities are going to change. The rules of property are going to change. It's not about moving further and further out anymore. It's about convenience and options, and that's what's going to drive our markets moving forward. I've often heard Michael and a number of other experts talk about this third place, the fact that we've got a home as a first place and potentially a work or office as a second place where we spend most of our time. But that third place is based around convenience. Maybe it's a coffee shop or a cafe, maybe it's a gym, maybe it's a place of worship, maybe it's a green space or an area where you can walk, but it's going to be about that third space and having the ability to socialise, having the ability to network. And as we're going into smaller accommodation, the benefit of having more and more options around us is going to be critical, and that's what's going to drive our markets. It's not going to be the outer areas where there's one coffee shop or one restaurant or school, or maybe we can catch a bus to work. It's going to be about having a multitude of cafes, a multitude of options, a number of different school catchments. Instead of taking a bus, we can take a train, a tram, a ferry. So it's about being spoilt for choice. And the City of Melbourne have come up with a great idea about the 20-minute neighbourhood. And I would suggest you really understand this concept because it's really going to drive our market moving forward. The idea is that everything should be within a 20-minute walk of your home. Number of different options, not just one or two options. So that's why we're making sure we're sticking into the inner to middle ring area where there's high demand, but there's also incredibly low and tight supply. And they're the right ingredients to make sure we're fast tracking and getting above average rates of return. So moving forward in the next decade, look for convenience and choices, and look for a shortage of those types of locations where there's a multitude of options for the demographic and the people who are going to be living there. It's actually going to become absolutely critical. Thanks for listening.